G'day, can you hear, see, at least hear, at least get the message? The event is over. The event is not over. I cancelled it. It seems like we're getting it. Love a reply. Hi everybody. Sorry for the delays. It's been just typical. After I do a big webinar the night before, there's always some little rubbish. Should completely. Great. Thanks, Glenn. Glenn can hear me. Have an issue with Dragon. Just 1 second. Okay, so can hear, can see. Maybe if you go out, come back in. We'll record it anyway. Welcome to the World Forex Speed webinar for Tuesday, 21st of October 2014. New line. If you are having a problem with the service, go back out and come back in. You should be able to see this screen. You should be able to hear me. Please let me know if you do. Full stop, new line. So if you go back out, close down, come back in, and you should be hearing and seeing it now. Now let's go to the Forex thing. US dollar index, DX, new line. US dollar index, still in a corrective phase, still looking for those lower levels that we've mentioned before. Full stop, new line. Down around those lower levels, 83, 84, we should be looking to buy there. Same orders remain the same. Full stop, new line. EUR USD, new line. Still in a corrective phase. Comma. Stop loss below 1.260. If you are long, full stop, new line. Now, Mark, you've just joined the meeting. Can you tell me how you're going with that? Now, what we can see is this is a correction, and it's coming back into the zone where you would expect it to start to, after the next pop up, it probably may back off. So we might be looking for short reasons around that 1.30 area. Full stop, new line. GBP USD, new line. We can see the pound hasn't quite reached its corrective wave target. I think that's up around the levels that I've mentioned before. If you do want to be long something, then the pound is okay with a stop below 1.6037. Full stop, new line. We will now change our stop loss to 1.6037 on our GBP USD long. Full stop, new line. Yep. So it's working for you, Mark. It's all screened up. So you went back out, came back in. Good. Okay, that seems to clean the brain. So we're cancelling the US dollar index orders to sell as well. Full stop, new line. NZD USD, new line. This is still corrective in nature, looking towards 0.0855 or 0.8139. If you were long, stop would be at 0.7882. Full stop your line. If you do want to go short, think about it below 0.7764. Full stop your line. USD CAD, new line. Forming up this triangle again, hasn't broken down. If you are buying it, stop is below 1.12. Full stop your line. Target towards 1.14. Full stop your line. USD CAD, new. USD CHF, new line. Still looking down towards 0.9311 and probably down towards 0.9078. Full stop new line. We should be looking to buy down at 0.9311 or buy a break above 0.95 with a stop loss below 0.9427. Full stop new line. USD JPY, new line. It never quite made it into the area. It missed out by 28 points. Will this be a change in trend totally? Question mark at the moment. You'd have to think that there is a bias to being long the US dollar yen. And we again see a target towards 108.22, and we again see perfect levels still not made. Full stop new line. AUD USD, new line. Aussie is still not strong, and a breakdown below 0.87 yields 0.8614 and possibly 0.8908 is the area where you could expect it to get up to easily if this is going to continue to correct, and then more likely 0.8972. Full stop new line. AUD CHF, new line. .83. The close above there starts to make the Aussie Swiss look a bit brighter at the moment. That's still not quite happening. It looks okay and may go towards 0.84. Stop loss if buying is 0.8239. And you certainly want to see it close above 0.83, full stop, new line. AUD GBP, new line. This is the weakest of the Aussie crosses. If you are short, you can lower your stop loss down to 0.5493, looking for 0.5407, full stop, new line. AUD JPY, new line. 94.47. 41 is the target. If you are long, you can raise your stop loss to 92.82, full stop, new line. AUD NZD, new line. Still not getting off the ground and probably has visitation rights down at 1.088 to 1.0906, full stop, new line. Gets healthier above 1.1120 or 1.1145 at the moment. Descending triangle, so wait till it resolves itself, full stop, new line. JR, I want to try an experiment with you, and I want to see if you can come in on this link. See the link that I've just posted to you? If you can come in, I would appreciate that. Just see if you can come in on that link, and we might actually be able to get you as a presenter. I just want to try that. Sorry from cold. Okay, let's switch on to the commodities. Welcome to something or other. Welcome to the Commodities and Future Speed webinar for Tuesday, the 21st of October, 2014, new line. Baltic Dry Index, BDI, new line. This rallied a little bit yesterday, making for me wondering whether this old low has provided it with enough impetus to reverse. Full stop, new line. And so we'll be looking towards 1024 for a rally. Full stop, new line. DRYS, dry shipping. Now the stock to dry shipping has come back down and it's starting to regain itself. So in the equities, I think we can go with a buy on the dry shipping with a stop loss below 1.64, full stop, new line. And your target, if you wanted to enter into it, in the first instance is 2.1 or 2.17, full stop, new line. JR, did you try that? It doesn't seem as if you've come in on that link yet. Anyway, I saw somebody who uses this service try it before. So at the moment, a short-term target 2.17, full stop, new line. If you wanted a shorter stop, that would be at 1.67, full stop, new line. Chinese iron ore, new line. Chinese iron ore rallied a little bit yesterday. Nothing to write home about, full stop, new line. Actually need a password. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. Thanks for that. Doesn't look like it's going to work there, does it? Password or a Gmail account. Yeah, if you were in on your Gmail account, maybe it would work. So what we see is 85.27 as the possibility still, given that this is held. So when we see this on the line chart, we see more clearly 85.27 is still the target area. And we haven't seen a breakdown yet. $85.27 is still a target because it hasn't violated the old tops at 79.3, full stop, new line. Uranium, new line. Again, we want to see a break above 36 to set this free to the top side. It's not happened yesterday. It would be nice if it did. If it starts to fail below 35, then look out for 33.41 and maybe Paladin PDN.ASX will work for that. Full stop, new line. Energies complex, new line. Crude oil, new line. No amazing change in crude oil. It's going sideways on allegedly decreasing volume. I'm not sure how much volume this captures of today's trading range, but generally it's quite congestive, corrective, and maybe it goes towards 89.41 or 85.76, but the theory is there's a lot more supply of crude oil out there these days. They keep finding crude oil everywhere. Full stop, new line. So maybe we properly have to see it down into the 70s, 75, 76 area as well. Full stop, new line. And we can see the increasing volume. As it's been going down, full stop, new line. We can also see the trend indicators showing it's going down, full stop, new line. Heating oil, new line. Still drooping off in a triangular fashion, so maybe it makes another go to the downside. Maybe it ABCs. You might think about buying it on a break above 2.52, looking for a rally to 2.56, full stop new line. If you did that, your stop would be below 2.4595, full stop new line. Looking at the markets, I kept on thinking that we were starting to return back to normal market life, full stop new line. And there are some glimmers of hope, but then every so often you get Janet Yellen popping her head up and saying, well, really, we're looking at employment where people who are graduates are now flipping burgers. Therefore, that's bad. We have all these graduates. There should be more jobs for graduates, full stop. But if you make too many graduates and you don't have enough people to do the work, what do? Get South Americans or Mexicans to come in as illegal immigrants and do the grunt work, full stop new line. What we have done is we've increased our expectations on our people, full stop new line. I went to a car wash the other day and I said to Azad, you know, it used to be that university kids or school kids would do this job, and they would be from people who lived in who were born in Australia who would do that job. Now you do not see anybody who's born in Australia doing a job like that. They're all at university becoming a lawyer or a doctor or a theoretical astrophysicist, or there's 400 people doing sports science in my son Lindsay's year. Now, who would have thought that sports science would have had 400 people doing a course like that? Full stop new line. There aren't that many football teams or sports teams in the world or Australia performing at that high level to make it worthwhile. Full stop new line. So what we have done is we've increased our expectations for our children in both the US, Australia, and they refuse to do jobs that might get them $20 an hour. We end up paying them a bunch of money, and they expect these high-paid graduate jobs, and guess what? There just isn't the demand, full stop new line. You need, as well as having a supply of graduates, you need a demand for those graduates and a need for them to do the work that they do, full stop new line. Janet Yellen is just a socialist, and it's really one of the problems in the world, full stop new line. We just can't keep getting third world country people to come along and do jobs. And admittedly, the guys who are doing the car wash were probably Indian students at university trying to get through and live. But we've created these big expectations for our children in Australia and the US that they are gods, that they can be gods, and some of them, quite frankly, may be gods, but most of them are not gods. Full stop new line. Anyway, while ever Janet Yellen's in charge of the Fed, we have a problem. Full stop new line. And I guess maybe while ever we have a Fed, we have a problem. Full stop new line. Natural gas, new line. Natural gas continues to fill up my expectations, which were low for it. Full stop new line. In fact, I think it's gone a bit further than where I thought. Actually, in fact, it's landed on where we thought it should be. Full stop in your line. Shall we do something useful with natural gas? Question mark. Let's buy a break above 3.8 with a stop loss below 3.6. Full stop in your line. They are, you're in. You made it. We can see you're wearing your Scots outfit, it looks like. You got your camera on if you.
It's wallabies.
What's that?
It's wallabies. I'm going for coaching.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Just as a test, can everybody hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. They will hear you about 30 seconds after you speak, John, the way in this system, unfortunately.
Because it's on the same computer.
Okay, well, if you get, are you in another one? Okay, get out of the previous one and get in there. So we'll have a target at 4 on natural gas. Target at 4, maybe 4.17, full stop in your line. At the moment, it's still trending down, so if you were to do anything, you might want to buy natural gas options or just buy a nibble with a tight stop at 4.6, sorry, 3.60. Full stop in your line. So, John, I don't know if you can see that, but the message is coming through that they can hear you. And I'm not sure what you can see on your screen, but if you can see a webinar jam tool on the left-hand side, you might want to click on that and you'll see what people do. RBOB gasoline, new line. Jar, can you turn your camera off there? Yeah. We'll just distract. Because I've put it on. Okay, I clicked on you, and we can see your camera, etc. So,
I'll unmute me.
Yeah. Okay. That was interesting. Okay. One of these little experiments we have. Now I'm pressing on the wrong part of the screen because I was running. Technology is fun. Okay. Looking down to 2.101 on the downside. Still, that is unchanged. You might have a think about it down there. If you are buying it, you have a break above 2.227, looking for 2.373 with a stop below 2.1465, or wait for 2.1 with a stop below 2.03, full stop, new line. US 30-year bonds, new line. What we can see here is that the 30-year bonds did have, look at that massive move, look at that, that's enormous. It's going sideways, it's not sure what to do with itself after such a big move. Full stop. So it needs time to take and understand the full magnitude of what it did 4 days ago. Full stop, new line. Australian 10 US 10-year notes, new line. We see that it's done a 38.2% retracement. You would normally then want to buy it on a break above 127 and 30 seconds. Full stop, new line. With a stop loss below 127 and 30 seconds. Stop, new line. And hope for a rally towards 129. Full stop, new line. Australian 10-year bonds, new line. We're still waiting for that breakdown. The orders remain unchanged. Full stop, new line. US dollar index, DX, pretty well covered. Previously, the only thing we're doing is we're going to lose our sell order at higher levels. Full stop, new line. Corn, new line. Corn backing off a little bit, not unexpected given the way that it was doing things. Where's us? We still haven't been stopped out. Full stop, and we'll leave. We can increase our stop loss, but I don't really want to. Let's leave it as is. Full stop, new line. You might want to buy more on a break above 3.5. Full stop, new line. And if you really need a tighter stop loss, have a stop loss at 3.43. Stop close only. Full stop, new line. Rough rice, new line. Still ranging. Comma with a risk of pointlessness. A close below 12.5 12.56 will start the game again to the downside at 12.4 target, maybe lower. Full stop, new line. Soybean oil, new line. Soybean oil is probably presaging what happens in rough rice, and it's getting down on the closing price basis a bit too below where the level that we want to see is. This could be a strong move down again in soybean oil. Full stop, new line. We see a low base ADX, so we might start to get a powerful move down or a fake move down and then a big move up. So expect some massive increase in volatility in soybean oil futures. Full stop, new line. If you are short, have a stop loss at 32.39. If you are long, have your stop loss at 31.19. Full stop, new line. For our purposes, we're not going to touch it. I can't see anything to do with it yet. Full stop, new line. Soybeans, new line. We did think 9.41 was a target area. If it closes much below 9.4, we start to worry about it. Full stop, new line. Is this just being corrective and then looking for the 8s? There's sort of weird price action happening with the weekly chart in terms of volume versus price action. And this may just be a build-up due to a contract change, but I doubt it. I need to think about that. Full stop, new line. It's a bit of a strange one to see such strong volume marching up. We probably need to look at open interest. At the moment, the commercials are buying this, and there's probably one more decline on the downside. Full stop, new line. Open interest is building up still, and yeah, so expect a bit more of a downside move. Full stop, new line. It's a little bit hard to read those things first thing in the morning. Full stop, new line. Wheat, new line. Wheat scurried back down. I would suggest if you are long, just raise your stop loss up to 507 and hope for 527. Full stop, new line. Metals complex, new line. Copper, new line. I am long copper, I have to admit this. We have some beautiful copper kitchen, I don't know what you call them, where you put your exhaust fans. You know, we've got two of those, one with really nice long pipe as well. So we've got lots of copper down there. Rangewoods. Notice this little confusion pattern. This gives us maybe, if it gets back through the midpoint here at 3.03, then you'll start to think about buying it, looking for 3.09, but otherwise it's still got some trouble. And the gravitational pull until maybe I get rid of those copper rangewoods is down towards 2.85. Full stop, new line. JR, did you disappear or did you morph yourself back into an ordinary user? John says, I feel like I can tell the future. Well, I see what you're going to say because he hears it on delay. And is it about 30 seconds? It's anyway. Gold, new line. Gold, new line. Gold still is good as gold. I spoke with John Vasiliev yesterday and he said, oh, few people mention gold, but really they're not talking about it. So gold is good. We do really want to see it get it above 12.45 on a closing price basis. If it can do that, this should set some interest up towards 13.12 as high as full stop, new line. We are going to maintain our stop loss, or we could move it up to $1,222. Full stop, new line. Palladium, new line. The rally in palladium is interesting and may go towards $800, but otherwise if it slips again below 748, expect $722. Full stop, new line. Platinum, new line. Again, corrective in nature. Again, like I said yesterday, $1,315, $1,328 is a target area. Full stop, new line. If you are wanting to buy a breakout above 1277, you'd have a stop loss below 1250, full stop, new line. Silver, new line. We are still long silver. We are long-suffering silver owners, full stop, new line. When you own bars of silver, you will find something really disappointing. It is just like the silver service that you have, that you got from your grandmother. You have to keep polishing the bastard. Which is highly disappointing and labor intensive. It burnishes so easily. First, full stop, new line. Now, we've been hoping silver would do something. We are not going to change our stop losses just yet, in the hope that it breaks above 17.5 and goes higher. Full stop, new line. Cocoa, new line. We would hope cocoa would have done something. It's certainly done a 38.2 on this. Belief system, but reality is the real strong support is down 2707. When we resolve to the monthly chart, we can see double bottom there, and if it breaks this area, expect $28.77 and a 1 month, 2 month more correction. Full stop, new line. How do we trade this? God knows. Full stop, new line. Coffee, new line. Gary was keen on coffee at 206. And let's see how you went. Comma, it dropped. Full stop, new line. I have to say my conclusion still holds. We could see 180, and I'd love to see 148. Full stop, new line. Kevin's saying silver is only good for doorstops. Well, you do live a privileged life there, Kevin. Doorstops and silver. Come on. Okay. Anyway, this is. Remember, I said its time was up, and time is up. There was a very important time cycle. There was a very important time cycle that landed on coffee at that time, and it's proving that it can go lower, and we'll leave it alone for a good amount of time and a good amount of price. Full stop, new line. Cotton, new line. We were taken out of cotton. And we'll have a BOYB as per the orders on the box. Full stop, new line. Sugar, new line. We see sugar rallying a little bit, not enough to excite us, but at least it's going up a bit. We will need to bring our stop loss up to 16.30. Orange juice, new line. We're still hoping for another drop in orange juice. And we'll wait there with our orders and bated breath for a little while. Full stop, new line. Now, right now, need a little break. We'll take 10 minutes and we'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. I'll be back. John, if you wanted to do some news, that would be fantastic.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? My name's JR from Ideal Financial Group. Okay, can everyone hear me? It seems to be coming through on my speakers all right. Yep. Okay, the news from last night. Bit of an interesting day yesterday. Australian shares ended up 0.9% at the highest level in 3 weeks, with financials led. Australian shares rose to their highest level in 3 weeks on Monday as financials and metals and the mining firms underpinned the market after solid US data calmed investor nerves over global growth woes. The S&P ASX 200 index jumped 47.67 points, or 0.9%. Which is a very large move. We had, it's the biggest one-day percentage gain since October 14. The benchmark closed 0.4% higher on Friday. Just having a look at the SPY. It's not open obviously yet. It closed at 53.20. It's a long way from that 5100 mark. Remember, David sometimes talks about the XJO. And what you want to be able to do is trade the XJO. You have to trade it as a CFD. So normally you trade the SPY. Dow Jones up 64 points last night. New York US stocks rose on Monday, supported by strong corporate earnings, even as disappointing results from IBM capped the gains in the Dow Industrial. Dow Jones average rose 19.26 points. So it depends on what time the news comes out. Britain's top equity index resumed its fall on Monday, giving back half the gains made in the previous session as investors reckoned with reduced earnings expectations for oil companies after a slump in oil prices. Blue chip FTSE closed down 43 points. Japan's Nikkei shares surged 4% on Monday to post its biggest daily range. Now remember, you can trade that, the Nikkei index, great market to trade. Sydney Australian stocks poised to open higher on Tuesday, tracking Wall Street's, which end higher on strong corporate earnings. Some foreign exchange major currencies traded in tight ranges on Mondays, with investors facing a dearth of new data and modest price changes in global markets, save for Japan, where stocks rallied on possible public pension and fund spending, which helped boost the yen. We've got gold last night. Gold rose on Monday, snapping 2 straight losing sessions, boosted by a fall in the dollar and renewed physical demand relating to Diwali, India's major bullion buying event this week. Remember, you've got the Indian marriage season, which affects gold big time. Spot gold was up 0.6%. US COMEX gold futures, which is the GCZ4, remember it's trading in December. Gold jumps around a little bit with its futures, with the futures expiries, and which month's got the most volume. So you always want to check for volumes to make sure you're trading the right product. Oil, Brent crude fell on Monday, dropping below $86 a barrel as worries about booming supply and sluggish demand pushed global oil benchmarks towards last week's 4-year low. US crude hovered below $83 a barrel. Remember, it's been trading mostly above $100 a barrel.
John, all good.
Oh, you can hear me. Excellent. I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah, Kevin's
Thanks,
been saying yes, we can hear you. Yeah, it's a bit strange. You should have. Do you see a webinar on the left-hand side of the screen? Something that says Webinar Jam. It's a yellow. It's a white box with a red flash on it.
Yeah.
If you click on that, you'll see the chat box, and there's a sidebar on the right-hand screen which says chat, polls, attendees, pop-ins, videos.
I'm not getting the sidebar, but I'll play around with it. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. I'm JR.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, John. Okay, let's do the fabulous and lovely. Welcome to the World Indices Speed webinar for Tuesday, the 21st of October 2014. New line. Well, I might have egg on my face today because I said, and Gary actually sent me an email congratulating me on what I said about the S&P. And I've looked at it and I've gone, really? I don't feel that way at all. I rarely ring journalists. In fact, I haven't rung one for a very long time. I wait for them to ring me, and that seems to be the best way of doing things, I guess, because the universe is saying when they want to hear from me, that's when I should be talking to them. Full stop, new line. Anyway, I talked with John Wasiliev yesterday. I actually made the call for a change. Instead, he usually emails me or calls me if he needs something. And I called him and I said, look, I'm concerned about the S&P and the way that it's rallied into this area here. Full stop, new line. Last night we had results from Apple which were above expectations, and we found the Nasdaq had rallied also into the higher levels that the S&P and the Dow had achieved because of that. Full stop, new line. We also had some strange things like IBM. For the first time, it's not going to have EPS of $20 a share. Now it's a $100 stock and maybe more. Actually, it was a $200 stock, and now it's lost pretty well 20% of itself, and it's a Dow stock as well. Full stop, new line. So that's not good. And it's breaking below the lows of last year. So we would expect a return down towards 125 in IBM. Comma, and the next bus stop is at 159.98. Full stop, new line. Now this is a Dow stock. It cannot be good for the Dow. Full stop, new line. Another stock which is also in the Dow was Goldman Sachs, and has also had some trouble. Full stop, new line. Its trouble was not as big as the other one in the short term, but look at this. Full stop. Despite all of the monetary shenanigans and the accusations of people that QE only benefits banks, we see that Goldman Sachs has not gone above its high of late 2009. Full stop, new line. And we can see you might want to think of this as a fifth wave failure up here, as well as a double top failure. Full stop, new line. Now if this starts to motor, and it's really only motoring down below 160, this will be a sign that there is a bigger correction coming. Full stop, new line. And I mean not just in Goldman Sachs, but probably in the other markets. Full stop, new line. If I remember correctly, Warren Buffett started to buy into Goldman Sachs around here, and most people followed Warren Buffett. They're all Warren Buffett fans. But maybe Warren Buffett will start to get tired of his investment and get rid of Goldman Sachs stocks. Full stop, new line. I don't know. But that's possibility. If it does want to decline, the deepest decline should be down to 125. Full stop, new line. Dow Jones Industrial Average, new line. We noticed the Dow Jones Industrial Average did not make a new high yesterday, possibly because of Goldman Sachs and also IBM. Full stop, new line. So if you're looking purely at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, you would say, maybe Hunt's right. Full stop, new line. Dow Jones Transportation Average is retesting the old lows. On somewhat decreasing volume. Full stop, new line. Maybe it tries to 83.27, but it's also violated this old low here. So that doesn't give us much to be too bearish about just yet. It doesn't give us much to be too bullish about. Where we would probably want to see it come back down to is 8,028 for us to buy it down there. Full stop, new line. That would be a good place to think about buying, because you could have a tight stop loss below 79.50. Full stop, new line. It would be a defendable position. Full stop, new line. S&P 500 cash index, new line. It's come back into the old lows. We have 3 days up. In normal technical analysis terms, if this was a non-manipulated market with no Federal Reserve intervention, no socialists, no communists dabbling in the process of the money creation of the supposedly most richest, capitalistic, most democratic, most freedom-loving country in the world, a breakdown below 1885 would be negative, full stop, new line. At this point, who knows? This old low, if it doesn't get above there, then we start to think that maybe we can come back down to 1860, 1855, something like that. Full stop, new line. At the moment, it's gone a little bit further than I like. E-mini S&P, new line. It is now trading at 1902, comma. It is violating the old lows, but not on a closing price basis. A closing price basis is 1906, full stop, new line. There is nothing really to tell us that it's stopped going up, and there's nothing to tell us that it's going down. Full stop, new line. It's gone a little bit further than I would have liked. Full stop, new line. About the only thing I can say is a break below 1890, which is where it was at yesterday, would signal it might want to go down, but people are getting back on board on this. And they drove it down into the open and then ripped it up afterwards. Full stop, new line. Now, I think I remember doing a PHG trade short on this, and I think it was a break on 1888. And I can't remember the stop loss. We'd need to, certainly was entered if we did take it. And if somebody's got the stop loss up there, I'd appreciate it, because I don't have the post in front of me. Sometimes, most of the time I try and put it in, but sometimes other things get in the way. NASDAQ, new line. The NASDAQ did get above its old lows, is closing above its old lows, full stop, new line. Volume is not yet readable as super positive, but it's quickly. NASDAQ, new line. The NASDAQ did get above the old lows. It didn't continue on with the job. And you must be thinking it could go to 39.52 now, full stop new line. Apple reported well. I didn't realize Apple was reporting. It did come out and cause it to jump, and that helped the Nasdaq, full stop new line. So if you were thinking of shorting Apple, it would be on a break back below 97.8 with a stoppy above 100, full stop new line. Overall, this has still got a corrective pattern to it though, so if you were going long, stop loss would be in the same level below 97.8 if buying, full stop new line. Volatility index, new line, the VIX, new line. $18.22 is the target, and really that you might think about buying it there, but more likely the way this volatility thing works, it's in a band now between 14 and 16 rather than 18. But you might want to see if it can garner some support today. If it can garner support around the $18 area, then and reverses, then buy it with a stop loss below 16.5, full stop new line. German DAX, new line. Probably plays catch up towards 8,903 or 8,940 tonight, full stop new line. If you are interested in shorting it, you could try it on a breakdown below 86.35, looking for a final culmination of its move, but generally this should be a bit of a corrective phase before the next final leg down in the German DAX, full stop new line. Euro Stoxx 50, new line. Again, like the German DAX, didn't see as much of the excitement as the US, but it did see some, and it did ignore it a bit. We've got resistance to 29.85, 29.77 there, full stop new line. So we've got easy money in Germany and a falling or morbid stock price. We have less easy money in the US, but heavy jawboning of the Federal Reserve, and as a result we get a rally in the US equities and not too much in the Europeans, full stop new line. So words speak louder than actions at the moment, full stop new line. UK FTSE, new line. FTSE wouldn't have seen as much of the fun of the US, probably gets back up to 6,400 as I said yesterday, and then can try down towards 6,200, full stop new line. Italian MIB, new line. Got close to the 19,055 area. 100 points between friends in the Italian MIB is not much, full stop new line. Still weak, full stop, new line. Australian share price index futures, new line. This did not die despite what I'd hoped. Volume is dropping off as it's rallying, so it appears to be corrective in nature. Still, full stop, new line. But again, you can't rule out fund manager buying today because that's what they tend to do. And so probably the stops, whatever we've got, will get popped and run it towards 53.34, full stop, new line. As you can see, it achieved a 38.2% retracement at 52.71 last night. Went down, hit the retracement. 53.40 is the target, full stop, new line. If it surprises us, which the SPY often does, it would be on a breakdown below 52.90. That would be the place where you'd start to think there was a problem. And look for probably 52.30, 52.39 if it is to surprise. And it does, but then it doesn't surprise you when you want it, full stop, new line. Let's look at our PHG trades. NCM GY, correct that. Choose one. It never got down to our target area. In fact, it scurried higher, which makes us hope a little bit more for our friend Newcrest in Australia. That it will stop, new line. TBT.ETF, new line. Backed off a little bit in line with its friends, the bonds. We will maintain our orders as is. Does anyone have any questions? Question mark? No questions. Okay, great. Again, biases shifting. You know, it may be today that they smack it in Australian market, I don't know. At the moment, we've got the Dow in the right area for a change. It hasn't changed. The S&P was in a right area for a change and still is in an area where you could expect it to get some problems. It depends on whether they really care about what Janet Yellen talks about, and are they going to raise interest rates? The US dollar index, probably once we see the US dollar index get to 83.40 or 83.84, sorry, and then start up, that's probably when the US stock market gets hit again. And we are in the final decline of that market in its corrective pattern. So possibly it's soon, but maybe we have to wear a little bit more pain before we get that reversal. At the moment, I think you find it's a bit of a tough time. I'm certainly aggravated by it, and we might be better off thinking about commodities in a lot of ways. The equities are just in choppy corrective phases against the old downtrends. Sorry, the equities are in the choppy corrective phases against the old downtrends that have been strong, and it's our job to find out when the cycles finish. In fact, in my dreams, it would be actually better if we got a retest of these lows next week or into this week, and then it starts up again. So I want to see a panic, but it doesn't necessarily need to be 2 new lows. Thanks everyone. Have a good one.